My prayer this morning was to be grateful for the seen and unseen blessings. Because sometimes we're being blessed and we don't even know it. My prayer this morning was to be peaceful enough not to complain about anything. Because we have a habit of complaining about stuff, you know. Things that we think aren't good. But when we look around and we evaluate our position in light of the position of some other folks, we really don't have anything to complain about. My prayer this morning was for the courage to be kind, even when I am functioning at high pissosity. To be kind to people. To be able to say a kind word to people, to be able to look at someone and maybe give them a kind nod. My prayer this morning was not to whine when I don't get my way, and to be patient when there's a long line, and to just move through this day, this one day, in peace and thanksgiving and kindness. Because I know if I can give that to the world, that the world owes me that in return. And I believe that if each day, each one of us just says a silent prayer, that our lives, our communities, and our world will ultimately be a much better place to live. Good morning. When I came to Medgar College in 1979, there were 75-watt light bulbs hanging from the ceiling in the prep building. We did not have an auditorium. This is a treat. We did everything in the gym. And on a good day, the basket would go up. And on a bad day, it wouldn't. So you'd have to sit kind of to the side so you could see what was going on the stage. When I came to Medgar College in 1979, I was 30 years old. I had 3 children. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing here. I was on the bus coming from the welfare office after going through a face-to-face recertification. And my caseworker, talking to someone else, not to me, said, "You welfare mothers make me sick. All of you should be put on your knees and shot like cows." I said, "Oh Lord, they shooting cows. Let me get out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out of here." And I got on the bus, and there was a sign on the Fulton Street bus that said, "If you're ready for a change, come to Medgar College." And I want you to know, as students of this institution, that you have a very special mission. I don't care what they're doing at Brooklyn College. And yes, they have that wonderful campus at BMCC. I think they finally got Hostos some light bulbs. You know, we used to call this the backyard of City University because we were treated like we lived in the backyard. So for you to sit here today in this auditorium says that the work really does matter, and that you must stand up for the things that do matter. And you must be grateful every step of the way. You students must be committed to excellence. You must be committed to excellence. We spent 73 days sleeping on the floor in the president's office so that you could have an auditorium. They know about that? They know we put the president out, right? I know you didn't tell them. Put the president out. Took his office over, made it into a daycare center. because he was not responsive to the needs of the students. Please honor this institution. Please honor those faculty members and staff members who are still here, still, that we're no longer in the backyard, but now we're grazing on the front lawn. I think it's wonderful. Also a pleasure and an honor to be here and see that some things haven't changed. I see the student body is still predominantly female. Y'all are a little younger. Weren't many of y'all young folk around when we were here. But the majority of the student population is still female. How many single mothers do we have? Yeah, stand up. Stand up. Give yourselves a hand. Now, I'm up with the time, so I know things have changed. How many single fathers do we have? All right. I know that there are days when you don't want to get them kids up, when you don't want to get on that bus, when you don't want to come here, and on the days that you just feel that you can't do it anyway. Do it anyway. I know that President Jackson and your faculty and probably most of your lecturers are very concerned about your academic accomplishments, about your economic accomplishments. I want to take a little detour from that today. And I want to talk to you and share with you some ideas about you and about what it really is going to take for you to make this journey. This is no easy undertaking that you are participating in. It's not just about coming to school and getting a degree so you can go out and get a job. It's not about that. It cannot be about that, not for us anyway. A job is not going to save you. You know job, J-O-B, that means just over broke. As long as you have a job, you will be just over broke. And because we at Medgar are committed to excellence, and because we turn out the kinds of students that make a difference in the world, what I want you to think about from this day forward is not about a job, but about a purpose. What is your purpose in life? Why were you born? Why are you on the planet at this time? Oh, things look bad and things look rough, but it is a blessing to be here at this time. With the technological advances, with the social advances, and even though it may not look like it, I'm not going to be fooled by appearances and say there are not political advances going on. But what is your purpose in life? What have you come here to do? Each and every one of us is born to fulfill a unique and a divine purpose, and you don't get it from a book. You're not going to learn it in a classroom. Your purpose gave birth to you. I know when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, it gets kind of confusing, and you're trying to find yourself and find your place and find where you're supposed to be until today. Know that your purpose is in you. The music is in you. I read once in the New England Journal of Medicine that they took a biochemist, a biologist, took the notes of one of Beethoven's famous concertos, and he broke the score down into musical notes. And that those musical notes, when they were individualized, matched the genetic composition of the DNA of the average living human being. The music is in you. What we have to do is learn how to dance to our own tune. As people of color, we spend so much time dancing to the tune of other folks, doing what other folks tell us we need to be doing, going where other folks tell us we need to go. And we do that because we're not on purpose. What is your purpose? Are you here to heal? Are you here to teach? Are you here to share, to serve, to give? What is your purpose? When I speak to young people about purpose as opposed to job and the career, they say, well, how am I supposed to know what my purpose is? What are you good at doing? You see, your purpose is in you. Nobody can teach you, not even the educational process. See, our ancestors, the wise Africans, knew that the educational process is not about putting information into the being. It's about drawing out what's already in there. And therefore, they educated us to our environment. They educated us to nature. They educated us unto the nature of ourselves. Your purpose is in you. What is it that you are good at doing? What is it that you love to do that just makes you feel good? What is it that you could do every single day for the rest of your life, whether they paid you or not? See, many folk are in here trying to get degrees in areas that they don't even like. But that's because they can get a job in those areas. But now that we've been educated to the falsehood of jobs, maybe some folks need to change their concentration. What is your purpose? What is it that you could spend the rest of your life doing? And how can you do that thing in a way that will make your community, your world, a better place to be? And it doesn't have to be grand and great. You know, everybody can get their face on television for 5 minutes. It's not always about fame and fortune. It's about peace of mind. Do you want to be rich or do you want to be peaceful? That's the issue. What is your purpose? Particularly for us as women. Because we have been told all the things we cannot do, we should not do. When I was 30 years old on welfare with 3 children, they told me I could not get a degree. 3.5 years later, summa cum laude, valedictorian, president of the student government. Hello? Years ago, they told us we couldn't be doctors. We couldn't be lawyers. Do you realize that 83 years ago, a woman could not own property because she was property? Right here in the United States of America, women belong to men. It was illegal for a woman to know how to read 83 years ago. My grandmother is 96. A blessing. You are blessed to be able to sit here. You don't have the luxury of a negative thought about yourself. And you don't have a moment to waste finding out what it is you're supposed to do. What is your purpose? Your purpose is in you. So many of us look outside of ourselves, trying to find where we'll make the most money, where we'll get the most notoriety, the most fame, the most fortune. And we let our purpose go. And many of us grow up in situations where we're not supported and encouraged in doing the one good thing that we can do in life. When I was growing up, you know, people told me all my life, shut up, you talk too much. Shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up, you talk too much. And now people pay me lots of money just to hear me talk. It's not always going to be laid out on the pillow before you. You've got to dig. You've got to search yourself. You've got to tell the truth to yourself about yourself. Young people always say, well, Miss Iyanla, suppose I want to be a drummer. Suppose that ain't what I'm supposed to do. Well, why isn't that what you're supposed to do? Well, maybe God wants me to do something else. Well, if you're a drummer, if that's your purpose, why would God want you operating a computer? God is happy when you are happy. And when you are happy, when you are on purpose, you're happy, you're at peace, you have a mission, you have focus, you have clarity. Be clear. Most of us go through life in a fog and in a haze, not because we don't have the intelligence or the desire, but because we're so busy doing stuff